It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulo Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the amazing ladies. How are you doing, Miriam?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. Nice to see you, Dami.
Nice to see you too.
Nothing for banter, but just nice to see you, ladies.
Okay, nice to see you too. Ramatu,
Yeah.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Independence children.
Yes.
Actually, people born in October, they're the best.
Oh,
No, BC, leave me alone.
oh, please.
They're the best.
Let's allow you.
We can
on
debate
earth.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
they're the best
It's your
on
time.
earth. And
Okay.
also, I'm just going to.
What are their
Now,
qualities?
usually, I don't qualities. Their
Yeah.
qualities. They are
They're
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
They are charming
Yeah.
and they are very considerate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like that. They're compassionate too.
they are compassionate. Thank you. So my plan is, I don't usually wait for the beginning of the year before I write out my resolution. Usually, it's on my birthday. I write out what I need to change, my goals.
That's
what
your
I need
new
to
year.
aspire.
That's your own New Year.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's what I do. So
Okay.
that's all I'm going to do. And then
Any
I'm going to take
cake?
myself out.
Aha.
Yourself?
Yes, I'll
By
take
yourself?
by myself.
You yourself and I.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it's my birthday.
What happens with the crowd?
No, they are not around now. Everybody's
Oh,
working.
yeah, I know.
And of course, hobby will be
Take
our
us
work.
now.
I
Yeah.
know people should stay in one place. Let me go and enjoy myself.
Ewo.
Only me.
Okay.
And they say they are kind and considerate.
Yeah.
Personal kindness.
Jam, how you doing?
It's a good day to be here again to join the delectable ladies of Your View. English, we knowing that we're from the other yard, we just need to stretch neck to this compound sometimes. But all the same, it's good. Independence yesterday, for me, I do not feel that we've gotten any independence, but we are the independent people because we provide our security, we provide our electricity, we provide basic things that we need that makes us independent as humans. So aside from that, I'm hoping that I'm December born. My birthday is coming in 2 months. Let me
Okay.
postulate ahead.
Yeah.
So I know that, just when I was in the makeup room, somebody called and was asking for a date as an event MC, event host, and was asking, it gives you joy.
I heard
when
them
you're
say, are you
are you
available,
available on this day? I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? What's my work? I don't get a work.
I'm available.
I'm available. It's the video that is not available.
Yeah,
I
so
am
you're
available for your dates.
Yes,
How you too?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
We're still doing
Ravishing.
sales. Yes, so
Okay.
the shop, skincare, slashed, clothes slashed, hair slashed. We're doing sales. Please walk into the shop. We have a physical shop. Go and purchase. You can send us a DM to buy what we're selling. I've been reluctant to send my accountant the books for last month because the books were practically empty. So he's been, madam, we have not done the checks for... I said, I'll send it. Hopefully, I've just sent it because there's nothing written in the book, basically, and there are bills, that had to be paid and everything. So business has really, really been slow. A lot of us are just, a lot of us are just struggling. So it doesn't look like you gave up, Normally, the best thing would have just been to pack up your shop and say, okay, I'm not doing again. But we'll still keep pushing and keep pushing. So please, we're doing sales. The sales will be ending tomorrow. Whatever you want to buy, the prices are very affordable you can get. I always sell affordable things, and the expensive things are on one corner, So buy the one that you're able to buy and get
agree
ready.
with.
Yes, what your pocket can agree with. That's it. So it's okay. We're looking.
We're still pushing on.
Yeah,
Even
we're
if it's a slim thread,
Yeah.
we'll still hang on.
We have to hang on. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, Nigeria at 64. Military display at Aso Villa marks low-key event. President releases pigeons, cuts cake with others. Jonathan Okunjo-Iweala mark, governors foresee greater Nigeria. Security forces find another 66 illegal refineries. 72 incidents in 1 week. Noun Center set ablaze over rumor of likely use as IDP center. Pockets of protest in Lagos, Abuja, others. Decay in public schools unacceptable, says Abbas. Why governments must slash $3 billion annual wheat import by experts. FRSC operatives recover 8.6 million at crash scene. Makinde extends transport subsidy. What stories do we have in it?
Okay. My story is... Okay.
Okay, I've got the Speaker of the House of Reps, Abbas Tajuddin, has decried what he calls the largely unregulated and proliferation of private schools in the country, saying that it has led to unacceptable decay in public schools across the country. So they said that he said this during an interactive session with students drawn from public schools in the FCT. He says that teachers, even in public schools, now put their children in private schools because they do not have, they have no belief in what it is that they're doing. He also said that that Nigeria's education sector, for it to return to its glory days, adequate supervision, quality assurance in public schools must be prioritized by those tasked with the duty of running the sector. And I hear him, but I have a friend who owns a foundation and she works with public schools, especially in Lagos State. And she opened my eyes. I used to also think that these private schools everywhere, but she mentioned that the schools, like in Lagos State, the public schools are few and far between, and the private schools,
bridge the gap,
bridge the distance gap, and also fee gap, a lot of things like that. And that's why we have a lot of them. So what I would like for us to say going forward when we're talking about this education is how to work with both parties, with the private schools as well, improve on them, or make them public schools in some way so that we have more children in schools. Constantly just talking about what the issues are at the very top is not a problem. What is the reason why we have many private schools? That's what we should be looking at. But they said he also made some... he distributed bags of rice and also offered free treatments for people to...
Rice?
Yes.
We shall rise.
We shall rise.
Above the rice.
We shall rise.
Which other stories?
Okay, so I have the story of the Ibezim residents ablaze in Imo State. They said some gunmen touched the residence of a former lawmaker, Senator Frank Ibezim, at Ehime Mbano local government area of Imo. They said the suspects who are still at large also burnt down some facilities at the National Open University of Nigeria, also situated in the area. There was a viral video that went around, and in the viral video, they said there was a report that the federal government planned to renovate the Noun facility as a training ground for repentant Boko Haram insurgents.
Wow.
And simply because they saw the Federal Commission and National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Tijani Mohammed, they went to the center with Mr. Ibezim. They went to they went on an inspection so that they can start a program to help the vulnerable persons in the state. So the program was supposed to start before the end of the year. And they said a lot of our people raised their voices against the internally displaced persons training project in that place, especially where there is no existence of the IDPs in the states. I'm thinking that when they come for such, they should at least sensitize the people around that this is what they want to do. It's not so that they don't see now this misinterpretation. Now look at what it has caused. They've set the place ablaze. But now they are saying that the Okoye said that the police boss has deployed the command's tactical units to identify and apprehend those responsible for that.
I think the one I have in the nation is Governor Otom, who said that God told him not to contest election in 2027. And this one says that the former governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, has said God told him not to contest any election in 2027. He said, I am not contesting the 2027 election. I knew why I lost in the election in 2023, and because I didn't consult God. My people purchased the forms for me, and I accepted them without consulting God. He said, God has revealed everything to me. He has asked me to wait for him. Ortom has also said this. He also said that he's making a far-reaching sacrifices in the course of his tenure as Benue State governor, including abandoning his family and friends at some points for state matters. So he is saying that because he's the leader of the G14, the elders in the states, G14 of the PDP in Benue State, he says if anything must happen, that he must know first because he is the leader, and there are no rumors around the fact that he wants to disband the group, that he cannot disband the group despite being the leader of that group. And this just brings me to say I don't like the fact that most of our politicians like to godify a lot of situations around them. You don't want to contest, for personal reasons. Then you have done your bit, you've been a governor for how many 10
Which
years?
of the gods? We need to be asking these questions.
He's a Christian, so
Do you understand?
Even as a Christian, you could have other gods.
So, I mean, they should just leave God out of
Just
this.
kidding.
They should, because even the God has said, let there be light. And some places, we still do not have light. So it doesn't mean that most of them...
Hey, that was a PG perspective.
Yes, that's a PG perspective.
They should remove God out of whatever they do.
All right, we have another story here. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Kaduna State Sector Command operatives have recovered 8.6 million at the scene of an accident. The sector commander, Mr. Kabir Nadabo, confirmed the accident to the news agency of Nigeria yesterday in Kaduna. He said the crash occurred at area G Samaru on the Zaria-Funtua Road at about 7 p.m., which left 2 persons injured. He said the Ford pickup belonged to the Nigerian Army, and it collided with the Toyota Corolla. Both were involved in the accident. Said the van was moving towards Funtua when the Corolla, lost control and crashed into the Ford. But according to initial investigations, they said the cause of the crash was speeding and loss of control. So a rescue team from Zebra, 55 Shika, led by Zebra Head, conducted the rescue. They also went ahead to say that further investigation showed that 3 people were involved in the crash, 2 sustained injuries, while 1 person was injury-free. So they had... Port Harcourt Refinery misses 7th production rollout deadline. Tinubu government preaches patriotism at 64th Independence Day parade. Federal government extends rice subsidy program to states. 5 suspects arrested for allegedly killing Ogun fisherman. And Iran launches 180 missiles at Israel. Federal government plans Nigerians' evacuation. Let's take a story and we'll go on a short break.
I have the one for the flooding worsens despite 180 billion naira spent on dams. And this one is saying that amidst plan by the federal government to allocate fresh funds for conducting integrity tests on all dams in the country. Findings by, of course, the Punch has shown that a total sum of 179.77 billion naira was allocated for the construction and rehabilitation of the dams across the country over the past 10 years. And this analysis of budgetary allocations disbursed to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and other related agencies between 2015 and 2024. And we're also hearing that, we're also reading that Punch reported that the first focus of government on spending dams emerged after the flooding incident that took over 50% of Maiduguri following the failure of the Alau Dam. This incident triggered the several downpours, resulted in a catastrophic flooding in Borno State, claiming over 30 lives and displacing at least 400,000 people. And finally, the breakdown of the budget between 2015 and 2024 showed the government allocation for preservation of the dams into 1,524.5% from the previous allocation in 2015, which was 44.25 billion within the 10 years, highlighting a steady increment in budgetary allocations. So I like the fact that they said they want to do integrity tests for the dams. So when they are doing integrity tests for the dams, the people that are allocating to should do integrity tests for themselves.
So true. We'll take a breather here. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
You be like person without fortune. At this point, I.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers, and Ramatu is ready with her story.
Yeah, so we have the rice gist. They said the federal government is expanding its subsidized rice program to alleviate food insecurity in Nigeria, with sales set to launch in Lagos, Kano, and Borno states. They are going to they said the federal government is providing 30,000 metric tons of rice, meaning translating to 1,000 trucks. Each of the truck is carrying 600 bags. And they said that it will be selling for 40,000 naira. They said the initiative was part of a broader strategy to ensure that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry. But he also said that the subsidized rice program also aims to provide relief to citizens amid soaring market prices. They said the current market price of a 50 kg bag of rice is about 90,000 or 100,000. I bought mine around 100,000 or so.
I bought
and this rice gist.
107.
107.
Yesterday.
More than 100.
Rice,
yes. You better manage it very well.
Manage my rice.
So, but I keep saying it's not just rice that is just the issue. They have to subsidize other things.
Which they are doing.
I saw one concerning wheat.
Okay.
Because a lot of people consume bread and all this history, so they should also do something.
I've said it before, we shall rise above rice.
Okay. So the federal government on Tuesday hinted at a move to evacuate Nigerians in Lebanon as hostility between Israel and Iran escalated, with Iran firing 180 ballistic missiles at Israel. And Iraq, Lebanon, and Jordan lie between Iran and Israel, and therefore be affected by this new development. So we had on X, the special assistant to the president on social media, Dada Olusegun, through his handle says, alert, with exclamation mark, all Nigerians in Lebanon are expected to get in touch with the Nigerian mission for profiling and documentation and subsequent evacuation. So Iran had launched a barrage of missiles at Israel in response to the killing of Iran-backed militant leaders and sending Israelis to shelters and prompting. Anyway, the 180 ballistic missiles that was launched at Israel. Israelis' air defenses said that they were able to intercept them. And so, so their own what they call air defenses were effective against the missiles. But for the Nigerians that may be caught in between, please quickly go to the mission and start your profiling so that evacuation can begin. Yes.
Yeah, so I have a human interest story here. The Ogun State Police Command has Police Division on Sunday. And according to the story, it said that the suspects were arrested after the family members reported the incident. That's the deceased family members reported the incident. It said the deceased and his two sons had left their home to go fishing when they noticed suspicious activity, in their fishing trap. Okay. And by the time they raised the alarm and spotted those people, the guy used a bamboo stick and hit the chest. Luckily for the two sons, they were able to escape. I'm sure they were the ones that made the report at the end of the day. But then the guy had died of the force, so severe hitting, and then his body was just thrown into the water. And I'm wondering, when you went to steal fish and then you're killing the owner of the fish, when they raised the alarm, why didn't you just run away?
Yeah.
It's well. Let's move on now to the Vanguard. Major headline: soldiers, police crack down on protesters in Rivers, Abuja, and Kano. Emirates lands in Lagos 2 years after suspending operation. NNPCL allocates 48.6 million barrels of crude to Dangote refinery. Macallan unveils 73-year-old whiskey masterpiece Tales of the Macallan Volume 11. Independence anniversary: Nigeria at risk of dictatorship, Atiku and Obi. Here we have Independence Day speech. Tinubu failed to address Nigerians' problems, the CSOs. Iran launches missile attack on Israel. I didn't steal Kaduna's money, can swear with Quran, says ex-governor El Rufai. Gunmen sets NAN facility ablaze in Imo. What stories do we have in the Vanguard?
Okay, so I have the story of the I didn't steal Kaduna's money.
Okay.
Aaron say the Babon Quran, he says El Rufai. So they said the former governor Nasir El Rufai of Kaduna State has pledged to swear by the Holy Quran that he did not steal state money during his tenure as governor. And he also challenges his predecessors to do the same. He said, I did not join politics to steal money or enrich myself. I was satisfied with what I had before becoming the governor. And he also said, I have always prayed for guidance in all I do. I strive not to betray the trust of the people. Whenever the former governors of Kaduna State and other leaders are ready to swear with the Quran that they never misappropriated public funds, I will join them. And after all that he has said in the paper, he said, I intend to return to politics in 2027 after completing my studies. There is no retirement in politics. By the will of Allah, we will return and continue serving the people.
Amiolua. So I have the major headline here. Said some protesters against bad governance had a raw deal in the hands of the army, police, and other security agencies, and even political talks yesterday in Rivers, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja. They said they had, vowed that they were going to protest October 1, and they had their action themes: Fearless in October, National Day of Survival. They talked tough. Also, the security agents kept to their own part, ensuring law and order across the states. They said the outcome was a crackdown of the protesters, of which 5 leaders were arrested in Kano. They were also tear-gassed and chased about in Abuja and Port Harcourt. They said peaceful protests happened in Lagos, Ibadan, and Ondo, with the organizers and collaborating civil society organizations, that's the CSOs, vowing to sustain the struggle against bad governance in the country. We know that this protest was a continuation of the End Bad Governance protest, yes, that happened in, I think that was August. And they said the protesters were met with resistance from different parts of the country. Rivers State police and suspected political thugs dispersed October 1 protesters in Port Harcourt. They also stopped media personnel from taking pictures or videos of the incident. Other states as well had a record of what happened. In Kano, for instance, a coalition and pan-Nigeria movement under the aegis of Nigeria Patriotic Front Movement, NPFM, Northern Chapter, alleged that 5 of their leaders were arrested as a result of the protest. Abuja too, police fired canisters of tear gas at hundreds of protesters across the country, and it just went on. But I didn't hear any tear gas, anything that happened yesterday. So I think it was more peaceful
here in Lagos.
The southwest. Yeah. Are we moving on now?
Yes.
Vanguard. Okay.
Tribune.
Yes. Nigerian Tribune, major headline: protest in Lagos, Abuja orders over hardship. Tinubu Shetima orders mark Independence Day in Aso Villa. PDP slams Tinubu's Independence Day speech, says its rhetoric insensitive to Nigeria's plight. Iran launches ballistic missiles at Israel. I will swear with Holy Quran, El Rufai denies corruption allegations. Makinde extends subsidized transport scheme by 6 months. Federal government confers national honors on Akpabio Kekere Ekun.
The small
Okay. Prevail on EFCC to stop harassing ex-governor Bello, group tells Tinubu. Arsonists set down facility, senators' residents ablaze in Imo. What stories do we have in the Tribune?
I have the PDP slams Tinubu's Independence Day speech, and this one says that the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Independence Day speech, calling it a missed opportunity to address the urgent issues plaguing Nigeria. In the press statement issued by the National Public Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, said that the opposition party described the speech as legaric and filled with false performance claim. The failure that failed to resonate with the struggles of the everyday Nigerian. The PDP specifically criticized the president for ignoring widespread calls to review policies that are worsening the economic situations. These, according to the party, include the removal of fuel subsidies, which has led to the skyrocketing fuel prices, and the devaluation of the naira, which has plunged millions of Nigerians into poverty. And they also said that the failure of the speech to respond to the cries of millions of Nigerians that President Tinubu eases their suffering by reviewing life-suffocating policies of his government also validates concerns in the public space of the emerging totalitarianism, where certain individuals or group of individuals are benefiting from the travail of the people, Ologunagba said. And I think this one, well, it's just for us that when you are in the ring, it's easier to throw shades at the other side. When PDP, if PDP actually comes back, they will APC will also do the same thing back and forth. So it just shows us that it's like there's nobody that is really patriotic.
Do we have another story? No. Okay, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. Next, we move to our sponsored segment from Pistis Foundation and Ubomi Outreach. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
You be like person we don't forge. At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked. No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to sus? What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. TVC Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Welcome back. So joining us now to tell us more about Pistis Foundation and Ubomi Outreach is a thought leader, conference speaker, and leadership coach with over 2 decades of exceptional track record and cross-functional experience in leadership, business strategy and execution, human resource management, and social entrepreneurship. He is the executive director of Pistis Foundation, a non-profit social enterprise vehicle with key focus in education, health, and shelter initiatives. Welcome with us, Leonard Thomas.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us what inspired the creation of the Pistis Foundation and what gap did you intend to, bridge with it?
Once again, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. Right, Pistis Foundation was founded primarily because of the gap in our society, especially in the areas of health and shelter, as well as education. As we know, the growing need for education in the country is something that everyone is aware of, right? Statistics tell us, for example, UNICEF came up with the recent data on out-of-school children, right? Sometime last year, saying that about 18 to 19 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. Based on that data, you can also tell from what they said that that is the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. When you talk about health, for example, one data that I can speak to is that, WHO, which is the #1, global body for health in the world, says that the standard protocol when it comes to patient-doctor ratio is 1 to 600. But from what we have currently in Nigeria, we have about 1 to 9,000 or 10,000, patient doctor to patient ratio. That is staggering. And, it's a call to action to every well-meaning institution as well as individual who wants to give back to the society. And that is what inspired the setup of Pistis Foundation.
Okay, so for every business, you must have a vision and a mission. So can you tell us what your vision is and also how have you been able to achieve your goals, your vision or your mission statement?
Yeah, so when we started, our goal was primarily to address the gaps, but we saw the need to have a clear vision. We started with a 5-year plan. Our vision is very simple and clear: to be a model provider of empowerment of opportunities for the economically challenged. So we noticed that it is not enough to focus on the less privileged, right? So we're deliberate about, the economically challenged, because there are a lot of enlightened people who are, challenged economically. Just 2 days ago, I was just talking to someone who, had become, an artisan, and she was telling me that she was a graduate, right? But she was doing it in such a manner that, was noble, if you allow me to put it that way. So when there are issues with quality in anything that they're doing, right, they are not able to do it at optimum level because they don't have the need. Sorry, they are not empowered to do it, right, because of the economic situation in the country. So that is pretty much a summary of what our vision is.
Okay, I'd like to ask, as regards your foundation, the involvement since it began. Could you highlight on some basic projects or milestones that you have reached that has reflected your journey so far?
Yes, in terms of milestones, right, like this week, where we're in right now, we're having our flagship initiative. It's something we do annually, right, known as the Ubomi Medical and Surgical Outreach. It's our 5th edition. Coincidentally, this month we will be turning 6 as an organization. So it's happy anniversary to Pistis Foundation. And thank you very much. And so that Ubomi outreach is primarily focused on, addressing the health needs in the country, right? It's something that, enables us to partner with well-meaning individuals as well as institutions where we garner, doctors from across the country as well as medical practitioners from around the world in one place. And we're able to pull together close to 4,000 to 5,000 people in 1 week.
Wow.
Every year, right? And the whole idea, in a simple way of putting it, is to put like a hospital in a community, allow people to come in to access quality health care, right? So that's one of the major milestones in terms of what we do at Pistis Foundation. Another major milestone is education. So we've seen that a nation can never be better than its citizens, right? So we realized the need to set up structures to address the gaps in education. When we started in that space, we set up a scholarship program. The goal that we had in the first 5 years was to, sponsor about 250 children in education in terms of scholarships. Why 250? Because a lot of the times people are looking at the numbers, but we saw that we needed to focus on quality education as a foundation. So we have currently over 100 kids in 5 states in the country where we sponsor their educational needs. But we didn't stop there. We saw that we want to be able to address the issues of talent because, it's important to be balanced when it comes to, educating citizens. So issues that like sports, innovation, STEM, technology. We've set up a program known as Wings Academy that's run for a while. Just sometime earlier in the year, we had, children who we pulled out from the streets. We trained them for about 7 weeks, kids who are on the streets. Train them in football and innovation, right? So every Saturday we had trained coaches who came in, trained them, because, when you leave these kids to stay on the streets, they become a menace to society. And the need for us to address these gaps is very critical. Every person out there, if you live in Lagos, for example, you see that at almost every point or junction, you're seeing street kids. And not everybody is, doing anything about it, right? We see also that if we don't do something about it, we can have another Boko Haram. We can have another, kidnappers and all of that.
Okay,
so
well done,
major issue. Yes,
yeah, Mr. Leonard, you've said so much. In fact, some of my questions I was going to ask sort of answered it. One of it was supposed to be about collaboration and partnerships, but I guess from your answer, you do a lot of partnerships with doctors and teachers and coaches as well. But what are your challenges in, all these plans that you have and all these projects and all these people you're helping? What are the challenges that you face in doing your work?
So I'll speak to 2 amongst quite a number, right? The first always is funding. Why funding? Because the needs are constantly growing. When you look at, the standard protocol when it comes to economics, right? You have demand and supply, right? So the demand, for example, for healthcare is much more than the supply, right? It's a major issue we're dealing with. So how did we address the issue of funding? One structure that we put in place was an endowment fund. So we do a bit of research at Pistis Foundation. We had to research global foundations as well as local foundations before we started. And we looked at a few models. One of them was a Ford Foundation model. You know, they're over 100 years old. They pretty much done well. They have office here in Nigeria. And, you know, the truth is that model works. So we set up an endowment fund. Beyond that, we also have, you know, partners that we're accountable to. They see that we're credible as an organization. We're constantly doing a lot of reporting.
Is that local or international partners?
Both, actually. So we're constantly giving them reports, whether it's our quarterly newsletters, annual impact reports. Like when we are through with Ubomi, we have what you call the Ubomi Impact Report that goes out to all our partners. It's downloadable on our website. That speaks to the data, you know, and how the outreach fared, whether it's the breadth and depth of impact that we achieved at the project, you know, and that helps us to be able to address the issue of sustainability as well as partnerships. In terms of the other points that I mentioned, you know, because I was going to speak to two, I talked about funding. Yes. The other one is collaboration, right? Everyone who wants to scale any initiative cannot do it alone. Right, we have what you call the PTS model at Pistis Foundation. PTS simply means pilot, test, and scale, right? So we pretty much don't just venture into projects. We see that if you want to venture into projects, you can pilot, right? It helps you to reduce your errors. So we test, we assess, then before we scale. At the foundation, we're at scale level right now, right? We're trying to scale our initiatives. We want to set up a hospital, want to build a school. You know, we want to be able to set up a bigger homeless shelter because we have a homeless shelter for, you know, a shelter for homeless children, right? But in terms of, you know, partnerships, the truth is we see that a lot of the times we see people or institutions who have the means, but they don't share our values, right? And, you know, the basis for any well-meaning partnerships is always your values. You have to share the same values. You have to share the same ideologies for you to be able to collaborate effectively. It's a major challenge because in Nigeria, there's a huge trust deficit. And, you know, it's something that we're working
So you talked
towards,
about Ubomi.
Yes.
What's the inspiration behind Ubomi? And how has it helped so far in everything Pistis is doing? Well, and I'll speak with, let me speak to the first time we did Ubomi. At Pistis Foundation, health wasn't even our main focus. But when we did the first Ubomi, there's something called planned strategy and emerging strategy. So you have planned that, you know, you're going to do something. So what we started with was education. We wanted to address the issues long-term in the country, right? And we realized that the demand for healthcare was staggering. And we saw that we needed to refocus. And, you know, allowed health to be our main focus. Because it's only society that is healthy that can be productive, right? You cannot have a productive society if the people are not healthy, right? So in terms of Ubomi, right, we've seen that because that need is growing and the people, particularly at the bottom of the pyramid, are not getting quality healthcare. They're not able to access quality healthcare. You know, it affects the economy in the long term, right? So Ubomi is something, you know, that we started in 2019, and, you know, in simple terms, it means life, right? It means life. It's a South African language called Sosa. I know that question was going to come up. You didn't see anything.
We're just thinking about
No, we're taking it personal.
I know. But I know where Nigerians are with South Africans right now. So the reality is that, you know, we're in a good place then. And, you know, that was in 2019. And the truth is, we have a big picture when it comes to resolving our issues. It's one continent.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I always say,
take visa to
one black.
Well, anyway,
but one continent.
I'd like to look at volunteering support, which is usually a deficit with a lot of foundations, people coming in and supporting. But you have also mentioned, like Ubomi has got over 300 volunteers that are involved this year. How important is volunteering service to support in making Ubomi a success, and what roles particularly do these volunteers play?
Yes, the truth is, volunteers are the hallmark of the impact that we dish out, right? At Business Foundation, there is, because we're a non-profit enterprise, the truth is you have to have models that work.
Yeah.
One model that we have realized that we constantly work with is what you call low cost, high volume, high impact.
Okay.
And what does that mean is that how do you achieve high volume and high impact with low cost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So we have a volunteer model that we work with. Like this year, we have over 300 volunteers at our Ubomi outreach right now. Right? We have a little over 100 doctors from around the country. We have about 7 doctors from America who are on ground. And, we've seen that, just their presence, as well as non-medical volunteers, their presence helps to form, the impact that we give out. They are very critical to what we are doing. Because we cannot pay for their services, that's the reality, to achieve the impact that we desire to achieve. One doctor, for example, who is a specialist, let me give you an example. Just yesterday, I was in the ENT section of Ubomi. ENT simply means ear, nose, and throat, right? And, the doctor had seen a particular man who had had a fungal infection in his ear for 10 years, right? And the doctor was, he showed us a device, because they use the latest technological tools. And we saw the fungus, right? And saw after he had removed the fungus, and we saw his eardrum. And the doctor was saying that if, he was asking him, how was he treating it? And he said he kept going to chemists and pharmacists because his ear kept aching and he wasn't hearing anymore.
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
Whoa.
That is heartbreaking, right? And, you can also see the level of ignorance. He couldn't also access healthcare because he didn't have the funds.
Exactly, that was
right. So that hit me hard, and that gave me some sense of fulfillment that what we're doing is meaningful.
Yeah,
right. So that is very. I hope I responded to your question.
Yes, but
we'll take a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, he'll respond more to your questions, Dami. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 220 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show. I can go. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn! Yeah,
today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Leonard here on Pistis and Ubomi.
So because he spoke about volunteering, and I know that we always know that money is the jet that fuels the company. So how have you been able to either pay them, or how have you facilitated some of these your international doctors that have come to Nigeria? What exactly is your funding capacity? How does it look like?
Well, frankly, we don't pay our volunteers.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And you know, that's why I spoke about value. So, however, we cater to their accommodation.
Okay.
Right? We also cater to their feeding.
Okay.
We cater to their transport when they're coming from different parts of the country. Although our international doctors who have come in, they cater to their transport completely, their flight tickets on their own, you know. So they literally giving back to the country, right? Or giving to the country, because, you know, not all of them are from Nigeria, you know. But, you know, earlier on you asked me about, you know, our volunteer structure, and, you know, I was trying to speak to the issues of, you know, how we, you know, when you look at a consultant's time, a specialist, for example, because when you look at the medical practice, you have general practitioners and you have specialists. You know, you literally are not able to quantify the amount of time, the amount of commitment that they give when, you know, we set up Ubomi or when we drive Ubomi, right? You know, when we've done a top-of-mind estimate of how much, you know, an Ubomi outreach will cost if we're, you know, paying each doctor, right, or surgeon, because we have about 27 surgeons on this project, right? If we're paying the nurses, right, yes, or the other, you know, medical practitioners, it runs into billions, right? We also do free surgeries, right, from dental surgeries to dental care or procedures. We do eye surgeries, you know, removing cataracts, you know, pterygium. We also give out free eyeglasses during the 1-week project. We do fibroid surgeries. In fact, from data that we have gathered over the years, we have discovered that the highest demand usually under surgery is fibroid cases.
Yes.
You know, and
bless you people, this is huge.
So where are all these places? Surgeries happening and all
right now, the place where we're having Ubomi is in Pistis Annex in Lekki of Lagos, Nigeria. Precisely Remio Lowode Street in Lekki, right? You know, from Monday we started, and it will continue up till Friday this week. We've had people who started coming in from Saturday from across the country.
Just to wait.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I've experienced something like this before. One of my friends volunteered, I think from a church. She volunteered to be part of a program like that. She did it at a teaching hospital close to the house at Aja, mother and child.
In fact, that was our project. So we at that particular year, that was 2 years ago, we partnered with the Lagos State government, precisely Mother and Child Care Hospital. We had the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Ibijoke, you know, also come in, and she toured the entire facility.
Okay, let's talk about your 2024 beneficiaries.
Yes.
I know that I think your data is giving you about 5,000 people who would likely benefit from
Yes,
Ubomi.
that's what we're planning.
Yes, so how do you get these 5,000 people, and how do you ensure that the outreach really covers their healthcare needs?
Through partners like you.
Okay,
right?
that's why you're here?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much again. So last week we were on radio, one of our media partners, and we also try as much as we can to do some level of publicity. But we know that those who really need this, a lot of them are not, you know, on the social media, right? So as much as we try to use the social media platforms, we clearly state that this outreach is strictly for the less privileged and the economically challenged, right? So we try as much as we can to also do what you call hand flyers. And we go into the interlands, right? Whether it is Mushin, whether it is, you know, but we are amazed at how people from Ibadan, Kwara,
hear about you and come.
about it and show up.
Somebody will tell somebody.
Do you plan to go to
other states?
All around?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If we are able, yes. If we get, you know, support from, you know, well-meaning institutions, it's something that we can easily do. Our partners have done this. Our medical partners, Pro Health International, have done this for 33 years across Africa. So early in the year, we partnered with them to do this type of outreach in Abuja. Even though some people will not accept that Abuja also has needs, right?
Well, of course, everybody has needs.
There's health.
Yes. So we have IDP camps in Abuja, right? 2 years ago, I was with them as well as our founder, Godman Akinlabi, in about 4 IDP camps, where we gave out free foods, free meals, free clothes. We also, as much as we could, did the medical outreach in that region as well, right? Because the needs are huge.
Very huge.
Yeah. Final question, so we can go.
Sustainability and growth. What strategies have you put in place to ensure that your programs continue to grow and thrive?
So in terms of strategies, one of the things that we have as a strength at Business Foundation is that we plan, right? So we planned the first 5 years. In December last year, we celebrated 5 years milestone. We gathered our partners in one place. We gave account of what we had done. And then we started the next 5 years in January, right? So we are on our next 5-year pipeline, right?
The pilot test
and skill model, right? In terms of sustainability, we see the need to put models in place as structures. I've talked about our endowment fund, for example, right? And that really helps to ensure that what we are driving, and let me simplify what an endowment fund simply is, right? You take a capital, some chunk of money, you put it in a capital investment portfolio that is safe.
Yeah.
And you take the return on investment of that, to run your projects, right? To run your programs. Of course, if there are well-meaning individuals there that can support what we're doing, they can also give towards that cause, because that was what Ford Foundation did, right? And when that grows, we're able to do more, right? And that is able to sustain the kind of programs that we do. So that's just one model in terms of sustainability strategy. Another strategy that we adopted, for example, on our educational program, is what you call Adopt a PF Scholar, initiative, where we allow individuals or institutions to adopt as much as 5 children, 10 children. When I say adoption, I'm not speaking to the regular context of adoption. I'm talking about where someone like myself and yourself can adopt 5 children in terms of their academics.
Oh, just pay their fees.
Yes, and what we do is just give you a timely report of that child. We just manage that process. So we have a website for that. If you go to pistisfoundation.org, you can get to see more information about that. You know, we have one institution that has, you know, taking responsibility for 50 children.
Wow.
Right? And, you know, across Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, and Delta states. Right, and you know, we just give them the reports. We ensure that we're in touch with the parents of the children on a timely basis.
So you build trust because you give accounts.
Exactly, and we're transparent in what we do.
Thank you so much for coming to share with us. Is there any way people can reach out to you, your website, your handles, number? Do you have that? Can you call them out quickly as we are going?
So that's www.pistisfoundation.org is our website. For Ubomi, if you want to know more, you can just visit ubomi.pistisfoundation.org. You can also reach us on 07000 Pistis. 07000 Pistis. And we'll get in touch with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the work you're doing. God bless you, replenish you, increase you, bring more people to join your network so that we can help at a larger scale. Yes, that would be so amazing.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with the Executive Director of Pistis Foundation, Mr. Leonard Thomas. Thank you so much for being on the show. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to our topic for the day. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Lórí ibu ni àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ajé kan rí nǹkan gidi fọlọ́yọ̀ o. Àwọn ìlàrí Ọ̀yọ́ dẹ̀ sọ́ra wọn di kòkò gbà. Bó ṣe ń jẹ ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ́gun rẹ̀ mọ́.
So, if there are any other issues, please let me know.
Thank you, doctor. Now that is a physician consultant. My HMO, Bastion, offers telemedicine, which makes consultations with highly trained doctors to be possible.
I got a healthcare plan that's right for me and my family. I have access to top quality healthcare services and facilities.
We also get access to over 1,700 hospitals and clinics.
Call 0800 Bastion, Bastion Health, the HMO that puts you in control.
Just close the doors, and you're in a world of your own. Travel is not just about the destination, it's also about how you get there. Fly Emirates, fly better.
We thank you, we wish you long life, you are ready.
Host, I can tell you that being a parent is one of the biggest reality shows you will ever produce. Hi. Oh, yeah. As cute as they can be, even you need to take a break to take care of some of the other realities of life. And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go. Let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learners academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Welcome back. So a veteran Yoruba actress, Ayo Mogaji, recently shared her thoughts on the struggles women face with marriage, especially as they approach 35. According to her, any woman who isn't married at the age of 35 should get pregnant for any man she sees. And this statement caused a lot of controversies online. People were talking about it, people were talking against it, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So you can join the conversation and call us on 081-764-1679 or 09024163440. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So this interview in question was handled by our very own Damilola Banire. And it was handled in, I think, Yoruba.
Yes.
Yes. So I would like you to give us the context of her response to the question, because sometimes I know that a lot of things are lost in interpretation when you're converting from local language to English. Okay. So if you give that to us, then we'll know how to respond to the conversation.
I'll say that basically the question was because she had put it out there that she had her first child and her only child at the age of 40. I think she said it was barely 6 weeks to when she was 40 that she gave birth to that child, and with different medical conditions and complications that she had gone through. And I think that came as a result of the fact that, okay, a lot of women are usually bashed because in the process of waiting for a husband, you are also losing valuable time that you're supposed to use in childbearing and child raising. Knowing fully well that the woman body anatomy has a stipulated period of time that it can allow you to assess probably pregnancy and all of that. So she was speaking in this context, and it was not as regards see any man. She was like, probably a woman will have maybe 4 or 5 men, and you will just know the one you have an affinity for. You know, the way we women see men and know that, this one, you know escape. I will, do you get? So it was in that context she was speaking about if a woman is already 35, instead of going through the fact that, because you're not married and you're going to now delay your process of childbirth, you can look for a man, even if he's not ready and you are ready, you're financially capable, you're active to it. You can get pregnant for one of the men within your circle and just know that this child is my child. It doesn't necessarily have to be the man's child if the man doesn't want it. And that was that context.
Okay.
And I remember that I think a few months back, another English actor, English actress, so to speak, also said something similar and came under fire because people are now projecting that, oh yes, the organogram is supposed to be get married before having children. But now things are rapidly changing. And women are saying that, oh, I have a friend who till now, I'm sorry, she doesn't have any child. She's about 44. And she keeps regretting on one pregnancy she aborted. She keeps regretting on that particular one. And I said, when she told me a few years back, she was saying the child would have been 11. Right. I said, when she aborted that pregnancy, in her do you understand? So I said, now in 44, there is no husband in sight, nor a child. So it brings us back to if she had that child and she was just raising the child, she knows that she's nurturing something for her future.
Okay.
And that was just the context.
Damilola, I would like to hear the thoughts of the ladies. Ramatu? Okay. What do you think about this?
I think basically I agree with her to a large extent because there are some women that go into menopause very early. There are some women, I know of somebody who went into menopause as early as 33. Yes, she entered menopause.
Wow.
And you can imagine, she was not yet married, and you can imagine already faced with, yes, you can go into menopause at any age. That's what I just realized with her. And then, secondly, I would say most women is not, I know that a lot of women, some of the guys are irresponsible. So they won't want to just take in and just have a child for any man. I have a friend who didn't want that drama involved. And what she did was she did IVF. Okay. Well, guess what? She went to Egypt. So she did IVF of those Arab look. If you see her kids, they are so... She looking very nice and all. So she decided to do it before she clocked 40. Okay. So when if a woman is waiting and she sees that at the end of the day, the marriage is not coming forth, yes, she can decide if she thinks
that's what she wants.
It's okay for her to have a child. And I think it's better for single, I don't want to look down or spoil anything, but I think it's better for a woman to have a child, to be a single mother, than gay parents adopting a child. That's my own opinion. I'm not
Generalize.
Another one.
Another one.
We are trying to survive this one.
So,
I've
I've entered another angle, sorry. So I think, so I feel women should, if you feel that, because there are so many women who are in a relationship, you find out that they're with a guy and the guy is not serious, he's not ready to commit, he's not ready to...
put a foot down.
Yeah, exactly, be a father or something. You can decide to be a father on your own, just, go in there pregnant and then have your child.
Move on.
And move on with your life.
Okay, Miriam. Because should we get pregnant before?
I think, look at you.
You would have finished that.
This is the way I was saying it.
No, it's because we married on time. If we did not, maybe this would have been our conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this sort of conversation, you have to put yourself in other people's
Shoes.
shoes.
True.
Because, I don't know. Nigerian
society
system confuses me, because we tend to give a lot of, our culture appreciates and praises a woman that gets married, and has her children in marriage. We have demonized and called out women who have had children outside wedlock.
Yeah.
So if we are calling, baby mama is now synonymous to a bad woman. Do you understand? If we call those women baby mamas and bad women, why are we now saying that they should be baby mamas once they are 35?
Times have changed.
So I don't so for me, I'm here to learn from all of you, because I don't understand which way to go. Is baby mama wrong when you're below 35, and the boy is right when you're above 35?
Because there's an age caveat here.
Yes. So that's what, that's my question. And yes, there are people, I actually know of a couple of people who are way older, in their 60s, who've never married and never had children. And it was a decision for religious reasons that I am not going to defile unless it's on a marital ground. And if it is God's will for me that I don't have a husband, then I will not have a child outside wedlock. So there's the Christianity, and many of us claim to be quite religious. I know of Islam too. They will frown on a woman that is having children outside wedlock. So which one is it? Please, Nigerians, teach me the way forward. Because I really, in this case, I don't know where.
Particularly because she also stressed on the fact that a lot of women who miss their youthful age, they are chasing career.
Yeah.
That you can always have a child and go back to your career instead of having to focus so much on your career, and you now lose that time frame of having children. Yes, I agree that there are a lot of times that women are delayed for different reasons. God factor, natural factor, medical factor, anything can be a cause of a delay. So imagine a woman who is accomplished. I remember that I had an interview with a top...
Can she adopt?
Adoption is also one of it, but what's the family sentiment towards adoption? We are not very receptive or accepting of adoption. Now, this particular woman, what I wanted to state was she's a top boss in the oil and gas sector, and I was on an interview with her, and with so much robust CV, I was intrigued that, how do you have time for your family, your husband, and your children, and all of that? And she answered me meticulously. After the show, I got to know that there was no husband nor a child. And I felt terrible because I didn't get that part of the manuscript. And in my head, it's just like, every woman who is accomplished, at least she should have a family. And just like I said, she answered me meticulously, and she didn't give me an into the fact that there was no husband or no child. So she has achieved so much in the oil and gas that, in fact, she says that people look at her as a man, that they don't even treat her as a woman. Do you get? So now, looking back to, if she goes back to her closet, there are tendencies that probably she's reneging on the fact that, when I was supposed to have children, I was busy putting up my career, setting up my career. Okay, now this career has come now. Like the way we say it, who is going to inherit every other thing you have left there? Next of kin did not send you.
Okay. Let me take this call, then I'll come to you. Rufiat from Iyanokbaja. Good morning, Rufiat. Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to put in my contribution to the topic.
Okay.
And I would say that what she has actually said is right. She might have said it, or people might have perceived it in the wrong way. But what she said is actually right. As a lady, we all know that our body system differs, and we tend to be more fruitful or productive when we are in our middle 20s. Where, if you try to get what I'm saying, the chances of being pregnant and everything giving birth to active children is when we are in the 20s. I won't talk I'm talking from experience. I'm in my mid-30s.
Okay.
So I discovered that when I was in my early 30s, or let's say going towards 28, 29, I was able to conceive actively. More the chances of me conceiving was very high than when I'm in my mid-30s now. So that statement coming from Ayomogaji, I'm sorry, this is the truth that we all are shying from.
To accept.
Just because we might just be perceiving it wrongly, but she's actually saying the truth. I'm a Muslim. I would support you having children out of wedlock. I'm sorry, I won't support that. But our system should encompass the fact that we can give birth and still go on with our careers.
But if you give birth outside wedlock, you are supporting it now. That's what you're saying.
Are you supporting?
No,
are you supporting or you're not supporting?
I'm not supporting child out of wedlock.
But giving birth and going back to your career when you're not married is also...
that's why I'm saying that we should allow early marriage.
Early marriage. And nobody's stopping early marriage. Is anybody stopping early marriage?
Okay.
I get you. Thank you so much, Rufayat.
So what she said, I was going to respond to that when you said that a woman who has given so much has sacrificed, her youth for her career. And I know that this is a sacrifice that she's aware of, right? Recently, I was watching a podcast and a particular person was saying that the truth is that with a lot of success, there comes sacrifices. You cannot have it all.
At all.
You may never have it all. So when we, make some decisions, we understand fully what we're doing. And sometimes when we try to have it all, then we now are met with this sort of questions. Is it right or is it wrong? So a woman who has made that sacrifice, what I see that they do is, one, if you say you're a baby mama, now people will come for you. If you say that go and have a child with any man, somebody asks, whose husband are you asking to go and have a child with? Because so that means you should pick. It's easy to say, but are you donating your husband for this?
No, I should pick a single guy now. Why am I donating my husband?
Yeah, because the single guys are the ones in question that are not ready to put their foot down.
You can get the belly and move on now.
Okay, so if this single guy is ready and you're ready, why are you not together?
What if the single guy is not ready, but he has good genes that can give me that?
So the single guy is ready. No, but that means the single guy is still ready to be a father.
No, he's not ready. But you're in a relationship.
So you're going to scam him into having his child?
No, you go get the belly now. Just
no, so that you're scamming him.
That's not scam now.
No, it is.
You go just get the belly now. Enters now.
No, because I'm not even talking of marriage. If a single man and a single woman decide we want to have a child together and co-parent,
yes,
that is okay. But if you're saying
we're not ready to marry,
but yes, but if you're saying that the woman should have a child with a single man by hiding it because the man, that this man is not ready to have a child, but you're going to scam your way into having the child. What are we talking about
but it's my
here?
child now.
Well,
but that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
For me, what seems morally right here would be adoption. Some form of IVF surrogacy, those sort of options. But if we're to really look at it, whose husband will you go and have this child with? Or whose son are you going to scam into having a child that he's not ready? And then when he's finally ready and to be with his person that he has decided to be in a relationship with, then you now appear and say, that time, even though you said you did not want.
We may not appear. Let me give you a quick story. So there's this particular guy who said, wait now. Yeah, they know they look. Sometimes they know they look. So wait now, let me tell you. So this particular guy just walked into the X at the shopping mall.
And then?
And saw twin boys with his face exactly. Twin boys. They had broken up 5 years ago. Apparently, the lady was pregnant. Did not tell him anything. She gave birth to her pikin, carry pikin. Now she's married to somebody else. But he said immediately he saw her and then greeted her and saw. He knew the way they had his face, spitting image, and he didn't know. He said he froze.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's true. He will go back home and continue reflecting and reflecting.
Yeah, he did. the husband was there. The lady is remarried.
Oh no.
But those kids were his spitting image, and they were 5 years old.
So from calculation,
it was a funny. We have a caller, Dr. Moyo. Good morning, Dr. Moyo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Yes, the thing is, it's easy to say, but in practice, in reality, it's difficult. It's not easy to be a single mother, especially in this type of economy. And I remember I had a conversation with my dad over this same matter because I told him I'm not getting any younger, and I'm almost leaving my 30s. So so he now told me that I should look at it this way. Number one, if you have a child, it's not an issue. But once the child starts getting to 11, 12, 13, at that point you need his father. No matter how strong you are, you will always need a male input. And when the father is not around, how do you step in? You can't do the two roles at the same time. And there are some times, there might be a time in his life, in the child's life, where he will need to travel, where he will need the signature or input of the biological father. Where does he come in? You
have brothers, you have uncles, you have cousins. Get him for your son. It's not like I'm saying people should go and get pregnant, but let me tell you what I think, right? Okay, so we'll take a short break. Dr. Moyo, sorry, have to go now. When we come back, try and see if you can get us back, okay? We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you sing your day one step at a time. On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area! Waiting the apple, waiting the top. Tune into our award winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Late nights on Max FM is where we help you connect the dots and put you in that place where you are ready to do it right.
We are dishing out the top hits of the week. Come on. Counting down the biggest songs on your radio.
Let's go. Right now.
On Max Sports, we bring to you sporting events happening all around the world.
It's not just sports, it's entertainment.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's go!
We are your go-to for hit music, entertainment, and top-notch radio all day, every day. 102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have an accomplished executive leader who has collaborated with media, government, corporate business, community leaders to deliver value to various industries, especially in the oil and gas and not-for-profit ecosystem. She's also an astute project manager and civic leader with extensive knowledge of humanitarian activities and currently the international director of Lions International Club.
Yeah.
I'll call it club. Welcome with us, Princess Bridget Adetope Tychus. You're welcome. Tychus. What name is that? Which country?
Lagos.
Oh, Lagos.
From Lagos State.
From Lagos State. You're welcome,
go
ma'am.
back in the days, we have the Brazilians.
Okay, Tychus. This is my first time seeing that name. You're welcome, ma. So we're having a very interesting conversation before you joined us, and I would like your input on it. We're talking about women who've passed the age of 35, heading to 40, if they should, decide to have a child and then continue their career, so that they don't get to a point where they can no longer have a child because of our biology issues and then begin to regret. And I'd like to know what you think about it. Are you a Christian, ma'am?
Very good Christian.
Okay,
In
all
fact,
right. You can start from there. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, let me say good morning and happy independence to viewers at home.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm so glad to be here with you and to have a say in this discussion that was already on ground before I came in. Women are wired by God to fulfill some basic and essential duties. And one of them is bringing a baby to life. Unfortunately, you will see the window where doing such is very easy and very convenient. And after that age, that window, it's not that it's impossible, but it might be difficult. Might be difficult even in terms of the health challenges that we expose such women to. So when you now decide to have a family, bringing a child into the world is that lady's or that woman's decision in terms of put all things you have on ground. Can you take care of this baby? Will your work or time or career permit? If you go through all those checklists and you think you are good, you are talking about, I must have a husband. Is that to have a baby? There must be a man, right?
Husband or not? Or there must be a husband?
There must be a man.
There must be a man, not a husband.
No, wait, ma. Wait.
There must be a boyfriend?
Wait, ma. Can we finish?
There must be a man.
So is this man...
does not need a title.
Oh, a man must be... Of course, a man. But we want to give the man a label.
She said there's no need.
Circumstances, the curves in life.
Our mothers are speaking from wisdom.
The curves that life throws you may not give you that opportunity to label
the man,
the insemination. And if you fall into that category where you cannot label, and you look at yourself and you say, time is no longer on my side, what do I do? Do you want to abort this baby? Do you want to go ahead and have this baby? What do you do?
Let me pause you, ma'am. I never expected that you're going to be this real.
Okay.
Because I had to ask first, are you a Christian? And I said, start from there.
Yes.
So this was not the response I expected, because what we hear is a blanket. If God says you must go through this way, this is the only way, there's no other way but this. Now, hearing a woman of your age saying that sometimes life throws you curveballs, it's just being really realistic. And I'm sure that's where the original actor came in from. That life can actually do and undo.
Ma'am, I hear about the curveballs, but, you know, also, I'm sorry that I have to put the Christian
Go ahead.
person, you know. I don't know also maybe what role you also play in church, but I know that women who are Christians, especially mothers and older, would call a woman who's had a child outside wedlock as a bad woman. She's a bad example. So how is it that in one breath she's a bad example and then the second breath, it's okay, life throws our curveballs? Why
the double standard?
Why the double standard?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, it's black.
I'm not judging you, I'm just hearing you people in the society. So what do people say? People say in the Bible, you say the Bible say no. The society, when we are talking, when a lady comes with a baby, you particularly, I'm sorry to say, there's a certain demographic that calls them out for being bad women.
Even in churches, you're suspended from certain activities. You're put at the back, you know,
no one says that's a curveball that happened.
Let me remind us about a beautiful story in the Bible.
Okay.
It was this woman at the well who met Jesus, and she was about to be stoned for adultery and all sorts. I met Jesus. And when the accusers came, Jesus was writing on the floor.
Ground,
and he was waiting for the first person to cast a stone, but nobody could. Because the question is, who out of you does not have a sin? Who out of you is free? Mine may be a child out of wedlock.
What is yours?
Gossip.
Stealing. All sorts. So we are not to judge, because Jesus came to spread love. You can correct in love, but you cannot judge me, because you don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know my history. You don't know my story. Unless you put yourself in my shoes, then you will know where it pinches.
And what are you even correcting an adult for? Is this person hurting another person? You know, the sin here is if you're doing something against another human being. This is a decision that you have taken for yourself based off of your circumstances.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You could be hurting another woman.
How?
Excuse me. What if I went to the spam bank? Forget hurting anybody's husband committing adultery.
I don't know the percentage of Nigerian women who are single mothers who are as a result of just going to the spam bank.
No, we've not reached that level.
No. We have not reached that level.
Let's be realistic.
But the point I'm trying to make is not every person out there went out of their way to commit adultery or to break homes, you know, and become a single mother. No woman wants to be a single mother. We must come from that perspective and understand
Life
that
happens. The man fell into your bed, man.
Nobody will wake up and say, "Aye,
that is my life ambition."
I like the part where she came from, the fact that we shouldn't be judgmental.
You cannot. Because you are judging me for adultery.
Nigeria is changing.
But in this context now that we are looking at the interview, the woman who said it particularly stressed on the fact that a lot of women are so much in sync with their career. They want to build a foundation of a career foundation so much that they neglect the fact that they are supposed or supposedly to bring in children. Now, career or childbearing, rather.
No, I disagree with that point of view. As much as possible, you must try to balance the scales. Don't let any ball drop. Career, marriage, parenthood, career.
If it comes, if the marriage comes.
If it comes. If it comes.
If it doesn't come.
No, but to be fair, there's some women who have put marriage on hold, relationships on hold, because they feel that it may interfere with their careers. They make those choices
themselves.
Intentionally.
Yes, intentionally. And they didn't really put maybe great thought into the fact that physiologically they may have issues having children later on. And then when it happens, is now who is the man that can be here for me at this point? So
it goes to decision making. This decision making is like a decision tree. You know, this branch A, branch B, you have options. Which one suits you or which one would you rather go for?
At this time.
So you realize that we are results of our decisions.
Yep. So
and
true.
So
some people have even sacrificed marriages already.
Yep. Absolutely.
And children. You know, some people will say, I had to leave my children to pursue this career, and I hope that they forgive me and see how far I've gone and I did it for them.
Yes.
True.
But I would like a balance.
If you can.
If you can.
If you try, if you are intentional. I have this feeling that if you are intentional about something, sincerely speaking, you will.
But do you know that we also have women who are not interested in bearing children?
This is not their. This is not for them. This is not for them. That discussion is for another day.
Exactly.
Because then you just.
And those women are there. We see them.
Absolutely, and they're happy.
But then you know there are some women that are so sure they don't want. And then after a while, I think maybe society gets into their head, which is no matter how successful, you should have had children. And so all of a sudden, they are thinking, how that's something else I know that women struggle.
There was a conversation we had.
We have to move on to our guest now. She did not come here to come and join
us. And I like her.
Yes, I enjoy her too. So, but let's talk about you now. You are a member of directors at Apex Tech Incorporated.
Yes.
And you're focused into organizational strategic planning and so forth and so on. And I would like to know why you decided to get into something like that. Because you look like a very soft, nurturing somebody who would rather want to just be in the kitchen, nurturing her home. So how are you able to, handle both? And why did you decide to take it like that?
I really wish this chilling, soft life.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
Yeah.
Wow. But I guess I believe I was created to be a solution provider. And it really doesn't, I don't really have to know you. I just want to know there's an issue, there's a problem. And before you ask me, I'm jumping into it and offering solutions. And that was what brought me here. I should not be sitting as international director or even become a Lion member if I didn't go out of my way to solve my husband's problem.
Oh, tell us about that.
He was the first one that became a Lion.
Oh.
And he was made the secretary in his club. And I'm like, this is not how I read the meaning. This is not how you do it. Oh, this is not, you have to. He now said you have to, all this, like, why don't you come, join, and help. He just said help. And I went in thinking I was helping. And before I knew it, his club members were begging him, please.
Allow her now.
Allow her.
Oh, wow.
Let her just continue in this role. And I continued, even without being a Lion. I was still just doing, pro bono. But again, the pressure was, why don't you now join a Lion member? And I took that bold step in 1982.
What? Okay. I'm sorry, ma.
1982.
82.
I'm obeyed and you
Let me finish that 1982. My last son was about 3 or 4 months old. And I jumped into that decision, knowing that my time would be in demand, my work. You said oil and gas. I was then in what was called Unipetro.
Okay.
Now, Oando. I think they are NMPC. I don't even know, follow. So I have work, I have little baby family, and I have the Lions Club. That was when I
the husband, can you not add husband? That's 4 things you have, because husbands are big babies themselves.
The first one is the first baby.
Yes, the first baby, yeah.
So that's when I said balance. That was where the balancing came in. You must be able to balance and not drop a ball.
Must be a juggler.
42 years, I'm still standing.
So 42 years now.
In marriage.
42 years. No,
marriage
since she joined the Lion.
Since I joined the Lion. I got married in 1977.
How old are you, ma?
In 3 months, I will be 70.
Wow!
Now you put me on the air to come and ask my age.
Lady Harry. I couldn't even guess age. I wouldn't have thought.
Amazing.
70.
So, but in all of this, were there no times that you needed to take a drastic decision as regards family needs me? career needs me.
Yeah.
Where did you put yourself?
Absolutely. My life is very funny. I hope there are young ladies out there watching and listening and learning. I got married pretty early. That you can
tell.
My dad gave me a condition. He said, get married, I don't care when, how early, but if you are not a graduate, go to university. Then I only had OND.
Okay.
If you are not a graduate in this family, I don't know what you will become. And I know you. I know your nature. You are competitive. So I will advise you, even with marriage, you can still go to school. And so, with that understanding, baby, University of Lagos, Unipetrol, Lions Club, husband, everything. And not only did I get the first degree that my daddy begged me to get, I also had 2 master's degrees to follow.
Our people.
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to ask you how you
answer my question.
Okay.
Was there a particular day?
That's why I went into that
story. The background story.
That's why I went to the background story.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this day I had exams. I thought I was cute, carrying and then the last baby said to me, Mommy, every day you are going to school, what were you doing? I will never forget that question.
When your mates were going to school.
How did you know?
That's how I did it.
Ouch.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
These children.
Yes. I will never forget that question.
Oh, Lord. Hi.
What were you doing?
Where your
mates were going to school.
Going to school.
Now they're supposed to stay with me. You're going to school.
Why did you give
What
that
did you
to
now
me?
do? How did you respond?
It took me a second.
Of course.
And I'm like, you have to be careful.
African mother. That's where they come in.
I'm like, oh, I love your question. Did you ask your daddy? I said, did you ask your daddy why I couldn't go to school when my mates were going to school? What was I doing?
You were married.
I said, well, before you ask him, your daddy must have dreamt that one day
you would have.
You will need a parent to come to planet Earth. And that was why we changed our mind and said, Mommy, let's bring all these 3 children, and then you can continue. I said, so now all 3 are here. Now that I've fulfilled your coming, can I go to
and do my coming?
He asked me to go, so
amazing.
That's how I freed myself.
Amazing.
Wow.
So okay,
go ahead.
I was going to ask, I mean, you tell the good story of balancing, but recently I was listening to this lady. She owns like 5 companies. She's doing amazing, but she's married with 4 children. And they asked her how she does it, and she says it's because she has help. She delegates. She says she has decided the way she lives her life in a way that is guilt-free is that she understands that she cannot be everything to everyone, and she's willing to delegate. Is this something that you had to use as well?
Yes, please. Because there's no way, unless you want to deceive the whole world and deceive yourself, there's no way you can balance and not draw balls without help. When I had my first child in 1978, on his naming day, I had an exam to write. And my in-laws were there, you know how they come, this is our first grandchild, and I'm whispering to my husband,
I have to go.
What do we do? Because we need a story. We need a good story to tell them, and it can't be, you are going for exam.
Why not?
They will ask you to stay.
No, to tell your in-laws.
No, your time, your generation.
Absolutely. I was going to say, why not?
Our generation.
Oh, my generation.
That's right, I'm coming back.
My
Because they'll drive you
generation.
there.
You cannot, my generation, you cannot. They will tell you, maybe you can do the exam. And all that. So, my husband said, don't worry. How do you feed a baby? I said, this is what I gave him the little lecture about, because this he would not even think about.
He was very supportive.
He now said, you go. They are my people. Let me handle
them.
That's
see,
so
love.
nice.
That's why it works.
Amazing. I have a question for her.
Okay, so all this while that you have been trying to nurture the club and all of that, do you have a successor plan? Like somebody who can continue from where you stopped, your legacy and all?
Okay. It's a good question. And any organization, you don't want to go to atrophy. you have to think about succession plan. So for us in the Lions Club, succession plan, we start right from the
Roots.
The roots. Thank you for that. From the roots. The moment you join, we begin to put, you see, there's one thing that I bow and doff my hat for in Lionism. We invest a lot in capacity building.
Amazing.
I'm not kidding you. You will go to some courses, you are like, am I in Harvard? Yeah. Because we know this is an association that has been on since 1917. So if you don't have good learned, when I say learned, not like in the legal, we are the only learned people know. If you don't have them in the association, then you are looking for trouble. Because you will end up not handing over to qualified hands. So we start at the club level. That is the most basic. We start at the club level. When you become a zone, like what we call, you can describe as the local government chairpersons. We also, they have their training. When you move from zone, you go to region, your training. And we are training so that at these levels, we are getting you ready to become a district governor.
Okay.
A district governor is like in Nigeria right now, we have 6 districts because Nigeria is so huge. When I was district governor, I was governor for one Nigeria.
Oh, only you.
And I covered the north, the east.
Wow.
That's to tell you the kind of...
I mean, there's a man living in you.
Kind of, you can say that.
It's a woo and man with womb.
So,
don't leave me.
Don't leave me.
A year, 2 years after me, they started complaining that, hey, we can't cope. Hey, one country. Hey. So we started bifurcating and bifurcating. Now there are 6 governors.
What one woman did.
Handled, single-handed. You're amazing, ma.
So 6 governors planning and then detrained. We have a headquarters in Chicago, Illinois, and they send materials for this training because it's a global association. So you can't afford to be local in Nigeria or Ghana and go and compete with other Lion members from
other countries.
So they give us one training
across
the board. So by the time you move through those positions and you become a district governor, as soon as you become a district governor, listen to Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter said he was a good president of America because of the trainings he got when he was the governor of Lions Club International.
Hey, please, how do we join this Lions Club? It's doing me like it's something we like.
I am ready to make all 4 of you Lion members.
Oh, amazing.
Only requirements, you must have a kind heart.
Oh, okay.
You must want to, want to help people service and not expect anything
in return.
In this climb that we have.
That means not ready.
I'm still a cub. I have not become a lion. I'm still a cub. Let me coblerize myself.
In fact, you are more than a lion. Hey, what you are doing here, don't underestimate it. Don't undervalue what you're doing here. Because when you share knowledge, it's one of our, what you believe in. That even sharing knowledge and transferring the destinies that you are shaping, it's a service on its own.
That's humbling.
Everything is not money.
Dami, can you hear?
No, and these days, let me make your life very ready to be coming. These days, we also have clubs.
She has Gen Z vibes.
I'm telling you.
Too many Gen Z grandchildren, I'm sure.
9 of them.
9.
Wow.
Okay.
So we have clubs that are, you don't need to meet in person.
Okay.
They meet on Zoom.
Okay.
Because they are busy people like you.
Okay.
But they still want to make the community better than what we have now. That was how Lions Club came into being. This insurance man, his name is Melvin Jones, in 1917, he used to gather his friends and they would socialize, juice, hamburgers, stuff like that. And anytime they were at such meeting, he would go look down the window of his office and he saw squalor. And he said to them, do you know the little pennies we spend here, if we put it together, we can do something. That was how it started.
But
a hat for others.
I want to ask.
We have to wrap up.
Looking at the climbs in Nigeria here and looking at participation of women, I would say that you're an exceptional woman. That, that people really need to tap in your grades. These are the grades that you say, God, I beg, God. Exactly. But now, participation of women, especially in politics, from your perspective, we are more of the homemakers, and women tend to shy behind and like, oh, I don't want trouble. Do you think women are doing enough, or do you think we are beginning to break barriers, or we have not even started to scratch the surface?
I would say we are not doing enough.
Okay.
I won't say we have not started.
Okay.
These are 4 women that have come to join, and now we are 5.
Yes,
back in the days, it won't happen. So we have started, but we are not, it could be better, but we are not where we are supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even in Africa, this is the first time a woman will become an international director.
Oh,
it's the first time. And I told you this association was founded in 1917.
Yes.
So what happened? Are we saying the women, and forgive me, I have to ask the audience to forgive me. I kind of believe that if you put a woman in office, he will work twice as hard.
Yes,
because she knows she's going to be criticized.
Yes, we do.
So she's going to work twice as hard as the male counterpart.
Yes.
So we have to give them that recognition. And we also have to give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
What I would say to us is that when that opportunity knocks, we must make sure we grab it.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Guess what, my lady? 12 years ago was when I first indicated my intention to become an international director. But you know the woman thing. Hey, woman. In my head, I'm like, okay, maybe you've met those that can't stand their feet. This one,
you're not moving. Where are you from, ma? Because with your name, I couldn't. You're Yoruba?
Yeah, Yoruba.
Pure one.
She's from Lagos State.
Lagos
No, I married a Lagosian. I'm an Ijebu princess.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I just wish we had more time. Like, you came in earlier so that we would gist with you, drill you.
She's like fire. So her smile
yeah.
has the fire.
Yes.
I have a feeling that.
What's your birthday, ma? Let me ask you. I'm sure it's what's your birthday?
That was
January
7th.
Yeah.
January 7th.
January 7th.
I'm sure there'll be a party.
Yeah.
We're gonna party.
Yeah. So I know that you have, live alert. We have a live alert here, and that's the official inauguration of Local Government House and Staff Training School by Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. They'll be taking us out, for that. We are already going. The show has ended already. So thank you so much for coming on the show, ma. God bless you. We've been speaking with Princess Bridget at Adetokwe Tychus. I got it this time. Yeah. And we enjoyed you. We hope you come from time to time, anytime you're free, to come chat with us, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Bring more women.
Yes, amazing.
Out of their cocoon.
Amazing. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.